So, today I'd like to talk about imagination and how we as humans have lost our contact with imagination and why we need it. So, this came as a result of observing after teaching meditation for many, many years and seeing that there are sometimes students who would come who had issues or trouble imagining the directions for the visualizations and being able to sort of see it inside of their mind. So for some people, it doesn't come easy. And the way I like to talk about imagination and visualization is like that of a muscle. So it's something that exists in everybody, and it's like a muscle. If you don't use it, then we won't have access to using that muscle. It won't feel strong. We won't feel like that we can actually visualize or imagine what it is that we're hearing or trying to see in our mind's eye. And so this is more of a muscle exercise for the third eye. So of course, working with our energy centers in that way takes time, and it takes practice, and it takes patience to work with them, because they work in a certain way and they have a certain flow, and certain prerequisites need to be in place so that the energy will flow through all those chakras starting at the bottom. So especially the third eye needs certain it needs a certain environment, and it needs a certain infrastructure inside in order for it to actually work. When we were children, we had unlimited imagination. We could play for hours, we could make up games, we could make up how characters would play together. Our imagination was boundless. And then we entered into a different developmental stage where it shifted, and we stopped playing in that way and did different things. However, sometimes in that process of growing up, that whole imagination bit can get turned off. Or maybe someone, said to you, hey, you need to grow up, stop fantasizing or stop imagining something. And so then we learn to close down our imagination and how to visualize inside. Because when we were children, if you think back to, if you were playing with two little characters in your hands and you were making them into an imaginary world do something, you were actually seeing that happening in your mind. And that imaginary world is exactly the space and place where visualization, visioning on any level, inner vision, seeing what's going on inside, and outer vision as well, being able to produce and manifest things in your life. We need to be able to imagine that in order to produce and manifest. So, okay, going back to when we were kids, also there's the aspect of a more grander scale in humanity, where in many cultures at many different times, and perhaps even through your ancestry and through your bloodline, that we had to be workers or slaves in some way, shape, or form to, say, a master or a hierarchical situation, where we had to comply with the overseeing control that was going on. So in that way, imagination would have been also discouraged, because there was one program. Let's say you were a farmer and you worked the fields, and you had money to pay to the landowners, etc. I'm thinking agrarian ancestors here. Then you cannot imagine anything other than that, because you're locked into that system. So imagining a life that was different was very difficult, and due to challenge and difficulty, that's another place where imagination may have been stunted. So there are many other ways in which imagination can be stunted. However, we'll go on now and talk about exactly how to cultivate your imagination and how to cultivate the idea of visualization and why that's so important. First of all, cultivation of our third eye muscle, our imagination, our intuition, is a very important aspect, because without it, how will you manifest exactly what it is that you want, or how or what is important for you in your life? If you can't see it, if you can't imagine it, it's most likely not going to happen. So you can see how that would be an important thing to stunt if that's not what you want in your workers. But if you want that in your life, now it's time to reactivate your imagination, your powers of visualization, to actually empower your life, empower what's going on. So using that, it's been used a lot in healing work as well. So seeing something, or somebody sees something through their inner vision. Their inner vision and imagination are two very connected things. Inner vision being intuition, okay? So for me, I'm a healer. When I'm working with someone, I see things like a movie when I close my eyes, inside my inner vision. I can see what's going on in someone's body. I can see what's going on in their aura, in their energetic field, and then I can work with them that way. Okay, so it is a certain power. It is a certain awareness that we all have access to, and that we can all utilize. And it also, when we cultivate that imagination, we also cultivate the connection for being able to see and travel through all of time and space. Okay, so when you get clear intuition about something that maybe is from the past, it comes through the same channels of imagining, same channels of that inner vision, imagination, same thing. Without having developed it, so without developing your ability to visualize things, to see things inside, you may miss those signals. You may not be able to even pick them up. So that's why it's so important, is it slowly and slowly, as you start developing your and acknowledging and reawakening your imagination, and connects directly to your intuition, so that you can actually get more information for yourself, for others, whatever. Another thing is that imagination is the ability to visualize anything, and contributes to the creating of your reality. So your literal reality, but also your inner world reality too. So your peace, your calm, how you are inside, will help to evolve us as a human race, to go beyond that sort of slave master reality I was talking about, to an expanded and really complete version of you, where you can imagine anything and therefore can create anything somehow. I don't know how it happens, but that's how these things work. And also it connects to the heart, and it's based on the heart and self-responsibility. So when you have that practice of being able to visualize, being able to imagine, it connects you to your heart and your self-responsibility in a way that is different from that slave master relationship that that may be in the epigenetics, that may be in the ancestry. And it also has a trickle down effect. So if you're able to visualize, let's say, a meditation, you're doing a specific visualization meditation, and you repeating that over and over and over, you have a practice in seeing that particular thing. And once you have that practice under your belt, then you're able to more fully apply that in all aspects of your life. So, for example, let's say you're standing on top of a mountain and you want to visualize what is over the other bump on the mountain. Then you can go into your inner vision and through visualization be able to see what is going on. So visualization is not really a external thing. It's very much an internal thing, completely connected to the third eye, completely connected to the heart. So it's a way, and of course all the shamans and the healers and the wise people on the earth who use this force know full well that what we imagine, what we see, what we visualize, and with intention and with repetition can become reality. And so that is essentially the power of imagination and visualization.